I imagine initially it was kind of based on the consumption of AI, the amount of value that you're bringing to the table, cost savings in time, resources, expertise. Can you put some brackets around that?
So most of the actual counting and measuring is still a human process. So it's based on how long we know it'll take for this scope of work for this many pages. So counting pages isn't always the most accurate. You can have pages with a lot of work on them and some with very little, but we've come up with a rate that averages out and everybody wins.
Gotcha. Okay. And then you can adjust. So it's what I'm understanding is kind of a subscription model, but it's based on level of consumption.
Correct.
So if I start in at the lower tier and then my consumption is, hey, I got to crank out a whole bunch of more bids this month, I need to now upgrade my tier essentially.
Exactly. And we understand the ebb and flows, so we'll let our customers extend their limit by as much as twice, knowing that there will also be months where they're significantly below. But we try to be pretty human about it.
Very cool. So you mentioned there's part of that process is manual, which I completely understand because AI is not quite, 100% replacement for, let's say, a high level employee. Anything behind a computer is typically, I would say, can be automated in some way, shape, or form. But then there is that human aspect of just the reality checks of, like you said, right? The page count isn't going to equal cost. Basically, let's put some analysis into this. Is that the manual process you have right now? Or how much would you say the total use case scenario is automated? If you had to put like a percentage, how much percentage is automated versus how much is still manual?
I would say we're somewhere around 10-15% automated because we're really only automating the selection part. The measuring, counting, we can speed that up. But we can't, the drawings have no standardization. So the drawings come, they come in many different formats, different fonts, different styles, different architects with different meanings. Unless someone can standardize the way architects and engineers output their drawings, automating is going to be pretty difficult at this point.
I see. Okay, so we're still quite not there. And you're using Claude. Image generation, are you using anything from like a Sora to Nano Banana, Gemini Pro 3?
We're not generating a lot of images. I am actually right now experimenting with Qwen.
What is Qwen?
Qwen is a model specifically for analyzing diagrams and documents.
Okay, do you know which company produced that? Is it one of the big ones?
I just started messing with it this morning. In fact, while we're talking, I'm uploading all of my training data to my instance in Lambda Labs.
Beautiful. Okay, yeah, no worries. Interesting. I'll look him up. Quinn. Quin, something similar? Qwen. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to look into it. Wonder if it's based on one of the, because a lot of these might be like second-hand tools that somebody's developed. What we would call them as like a wrapper, basically. But then on the back end, they're like a Gemini or a ChatGPT or a Claude. And then the front end, they sell a, SaaS product, essentially. I imagine similar to what you're doing, right? With like Takeoff Monkey. But what is your backend?
Our backend
is Claude. Oh, sorry, you already mentioned that. So Claude is the backend, then the front end's Takeoff. Okay, and so people come in, they submit their drawings, and then you go through that and then send it right back to them. Nice.